chill.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Visual Effects and Chill, a special 3D. It's not 3D. Oh, I don't have that drop installed anymore. The point is, welcome to Visual Effects and Chill. That came out naturally, Visual Effects and Chill. I botched this intro so bad. Let's start from scratch. Here we go. Welcome back to VFX and Chill, another episode. As usual, I'm Seth Worley, and with me as always is Daniel Hashi Hashimoto and Michael, the great Salam Salapsky. Guys, how are you this week?
I'm doing, I'm just getting over a cold, which is exciting. So that was fun. Props to my family for keeping this crazy show running while I was out of commission.
Michael, how about you, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Other than our poor dog with medical issues in the doggy hospital, but we get to bring him home today, so that'll be nice.
I'm very glad, though next time don't start with very good, other than dire medical conditions.
The dog is good now. I just got the news that we get to bring him home today, so that's why I'm good.
Excellent.
Like while the pre-show music was going, the spouse comes in the door and it's like, we get to pick Max up today. I'm like, yes.
Awesome. Well, congrats to you. Congrats to Max. Congrats to everybody. Who out there in the chat got a Vision Pro this week or last week? Because
anyone pick up a Vision Pro?
Anybody? Because we have one?
I mean, because our weekly show budget is 4K a piece, but I blew it all on shoelaces.
I blew it all on a TV, a 4K TV, a 4.
I don't even want the shoelaces and have no idea how to return them.
Hang on.
Damn it, Michael.
No, we don't have a show budget.
We don't.
No, but for those of you out there with a budget and decided to drop a little coin on this exciting Apple product, I'm sure you have heard that the Apple Vision Pro is here, revolutionizing things, especially if you ask any famous Cinema 4D millionaires about how it performs. It performs fine. I can't use any of the words from Beeple's Apple Vision review. We decided.
We were talking about what to do on the show this week, and we were like, I threw out the idea: what if we put Apple Vision Pros on people in movies, specifically thinking of, well, I don't want to give it away. I'll let you show it off in a second, Hashi, but there was one thing that you had been planning to raptorize for a long time. And,
oh, goodness.
And I don't know if we actually approved talking about this on the show, but
it's a show that will get you, we might get demonetized on YouTube for this. Just kidding. We're not monetized yet.
Oh, that's right. We have nothing to lose. Anyway, it's the When Harry Met Sally scene. I thought if we put
monetization,
if you put the Vision Pro on Sally and When Harry Met Sally in the most classic scene from that movie, it recontextualizes that scene entirely. So that idea branched us off into this idea of putting it on things in movies. You were talking about Predator. Instead of it being Predator Vision, it's just literally just looking at windows like in his space. I want to do the Saving Private Ryan shot with where it moves in on the eyes, just because of the eyes. We made an interesting rig for doing this kind of thing, but we want to first off just go ahead while we've got people watching in the chat before they get bored and leave. If you guys could throw some ideas in the chat on
guys and gals and non-binary pals.
Yes, forgive me. That was the all-inclusive, non-gender specific guys that I used, even though it's under. Anyway, it's not
absolutely. We have Chris Vanos saying convinced that 99% of the Vision Pro videos out there are just paid Apple marketing, which I think is a pretty good theory. Like the idea that they're just like paying people to run around town with a Vision Pro on their head for a while. And
I have to tell you, if you're talking about the commercials, I do agree with you. I think 100% of them are paid Apple marketing. Actually, I agree. The viral ones, yeah, you're right. I think it's a little silly. So yeah, guys, if you got ideas for scenes for movies that would be that could be recontextualized by bringing a Vision Pro into the mix. Please show them off. Hashi, you sharing your screen? Because I want to go to mine, but I can't unless yours is up.
Oh, I am sharing my screen now.
So, sharing your screen. You made a template for us. Okay, yours is going to be immediately distracting. Your side of the screen.
What? Go ahead. Teach on your side. Teach on your side. I'm just going to play this in slow motion.
So, I'm not going to be able to pay attention. It's so good.
For young people like me who have not seen this movie, I don't think we want to play the audio. Does someone have to explain what is happening in this scene?
She is trying to prove a point to Billy Quest. I'll have what she's having. I haven't seen that clip in a while. Can she be taking off an Oculus like in the process or something?
I mean, not specifically. Like, there's no great. I suppose like she takes a bite of food at the end here.
Oh no, I mean Rob Reiner's mother. If she could be taking off an Oculus saying, "I'll have what she's having."
It's a good question. I can't remember where I have the. I think it's in our Raptor assets folder. My goodness, to go down a horrible. I
would say there's some suggestions in the chat already. Outjogging Pictures wants something from The Dark Knight. John J.R. Robeck wants the Raiders Arc opening. And of course, Outjogging Pictures also suggests Cyclops from the X-Men.
Okay, so we both had Raiders Arc intro on our list. Yeah. So I feel like that's got to go.
John Birmingham wants the Scent of a Woman driving scene.
We all went quiet trying to remember that scene.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
It's okay. Keep them coming. They don't have to be sexual. Hashi, you made a template for us, and this is using there are so many Apple Visions Pro on on Sketchfab.
Yeah, I can
so credit all 10,000 of them.
Excuse me, goodness. So yeah, basically, like we might have gotten this one from Jackie and Design because they have the exact same one as. How did I make my folder so tall? Just fit over here. There we go. We have this Apple Vision Pro, this Apple Vision Pro, this Apple Vision Pro, this one, and they are all the exact same model, which I'm imagining maybe came out with the what's it called?
Developers kit? They wouldn't. Why
like
would they
developers
have a 3D
kit or something. I don't know, but it's the same exact one with the same little mountain scene. I mean, it's a very good model.
Yeah,
and it has
because Apple included it in the developers kit.
That's my thinking. I feel like it's so distinctly broken up into every individual component too. There's no. This wasn't constructed because it's a great model.
And now
it's a great model, and it's out there in the world now.
So then you pointed out we should be able to make a template for the eyes. And one of the ways we were going to approach it was with the preset and workflow, the SOB and RBF, the two things that I have that you can do.
What do those stand for?
Something
rotation
really,
by features and let's see, what is the other one?
Son of a bitch.
SOB? No, that's not what it stands for.
And so you do an Apple
scale to original bounds, I think.
In fact, I'll just do it right here. You do a After Effects facial track on somebody. So I'll just draw a little circle around the face.
On this generic white dude.
And go to face tracking detailed features, which I will bring up higher because no one can see that. So I go to with the mask selected, I go to the tracker and I select face tracking detailed features, and I will track, and it will start to track his face, and it should create these specific face details, tracking his eyebrows, forehead, all the parts of the face.
These auto mask tracking features are really handy for some things. Like the outline only for the face is really helpful both for color correction and for visual effects kind of stuff. The facial tracking features is just great to have all that extra data.
So, no, what's that, Michael?
I'll say while waiting for that to happen, there's some more suggestions from the chat. Michael Powleck's got quite a few good suggestions. The dance scene, or the I See Dead People moment from Sixth Sense.
The dance scene from Sixth Sense?
Sorry.
That was my favorite part.
I See Dead People moment. The I See You moment from Avatar, cut to seeing the weird faux eyes through the goggles. I see you. And then also suggesting Marty Feldman from Young Frankenstein wearing them, but his projected eyes are fixed and no longer crossed. Yes. And then Frigby Chillleather suggests the dance scene from Breakfast Club, which is quite good.
Oh, these are great.
Those are great. So I don't want to keep tracking, so I'm just going to... there's not a lot of movement in this specific example, but... So now I've got these tracked facial features, and I'm going to actually go in and turn off the mask. Spider-Man, turn off the mask. And you'll see down here in this, I now have this face track points effect that's been applied to the footage with all of these keyframed left eye, right eye, all of these points, right? So I'm going to keep those there. And then just to kind of show off how RBF works, I'm going to do like... I'm going to make this text, it says face, and I'm going to apply to it. I'm going to apply SOB, because what that does is allows me to select what layer the face is on, and now it will, it doesn't, crap, I forgot it doesn't work on text. Sorry, my bad. Hang on. Let me do like a...
Oh yeah, text doesn't have dimensions per se.
It'll work on text. It'll work on text if you... Put your text in the scene, then put a solid in your scene and use like CC composite or calculations or compound arithmetic to grab the text info onto your solid layer.
Right. I don't feel like doing that. So now I've got this turquoise mask here. I'm going to apply SOB to it.
Oh, sorry. I forgot I reorganized our footage. I'm glad you relinked it. I forgot to.
So now it'll track with the face, and it's a little rough. There's a little bit of weird like scaling stuff, but I can go in and adjust like what it's basing its scale on. Instead of the right pupil, let's do the right eye inner and left eye inner. And so now we get a little less crazy scale stuff happening. Now the RBF part of it is if I keep the mask on and apply RBF, now what it does, let me go to quarter, because this does not want to play it back while we're streaming.
So I am pleased, like while it causes its own set of issues, our return to the side-by-side screen function is... It embodies the chaos of the show so nicely.
I agree. So this thing obviously does... I'll turn off the scale on this version, but the idea here is that it's now... If we applied this to... It's tricky on this because this guy wasn't moving his face a whole lot. But what it did do is it stabilized his face right here in one place. And the idea was thinking... Your thought was we could use this potentially to create the texture for the eyes that show up on the Vision Pro, but you ended up with a much cooler method that is being used here in this example. Do you want to talk through what yours does?
Yeah, Hashi, you really need to talk through this because this is just such a cool way to get this to work.
So let's see. Whoops. This this is. I was trying to open up the Cinema 4D file, but I've opened up our intro template file, which I'm quite pleased.
Oh, absolutely.
Pleased with how
the meme
turned
TV
out.
with the goggles over top of the TV is just hilarious.
Just riding this little virtual roller coaster together. Just a bunch of the silly background work that goes into the beginning. the beginning of every episode that,
when you showed
that
this to
people
me
might miss.
and we were moving in tandem, I was like, please don't change it. It's like having us be in exactly like to the same experience is so good.
Excellent. So I took that model that we had of the Vision Pro, and it came in with literally every individual piece had a different texture, which was a little bit frustrating. And so I went through and did something that is actually available in a nice old Harry Frank tutorial, where he shows that if you have an object that has a ton of textures, you can throw all of the little different parts into a connect object and then bake the object and its materials. And so I did that to give myself just one material to have to move along with this thing. One, but I also did split up a few pieces of this. I split off this nice little segment right. Let's see, here are my polygon selections. So one of these is this nice little screen right here. And I just grabbed the geometry from this little eye area that you kind of see them, like see the projection of the fake eyes in the Vision Pro. I don't know what to call this. There's probably a cool name for it. But I redid this, put a nice UV map on it, and made it so its UV map is actually very simple, like this. It's very small real estate to show this off, but I wanted to make it so this was upright and not stretched or scaled or anything like that. It looks kind of like that. And so once that was all set up, I'm pushing the model through Element into After Effects here. Let me see if how am I doing on my half screenage? Yeah, that's about right. So I've grabbed so we've done what we've done on the show before, which is just to bring in a 3D model in Element. We've used the blue layers that you could see here in the Cinema 4D model as, let me go back to standard here. We added a little like blue shadow catcher for a head shape. And I also split off the nose separately because I had a feeling that if we were doing some comps where we had to try to put this on different face shapes, that it would be nice to be able to have, you can kind of see it in here, control over this little, little nose so that you can like make bigger or smaller.
I wish there was a way to turn off self ambient occlusion on that nose.
You can, but you need to switch into ray traced ambient occlusion.
On my computer very well.
So either way, it's making these little context shadows, and they're actually pretty helpful, even if they're not very accurate. But I do have control over, I see this weird nose shadow that's in the wrong place. I can go down to my auxiliary channels and try to zip that up to kind of where his nose is. Just somewhere like that. And then also, I can rotate the, I don't know why these are all soloed right now. We've got this, we've got the head so that I can kind of rotate around an invisible object, which is pretty nice. But the feature I think that everyone is asking me to talk about is, see how wherever I put the goggles, it's actually showing what would be under the goggles. Like it's showing his nose now, and if it's up over here, it's showing the eyes. And that is because I'm using a variation of my kind of plane stamp effect, which is kind of cool. I grabbed the Vision Pro and I attached, since it's all attached to a 3D null, I placed a 3D card in here too. So there's a 3D card and I attached it to this. And I tried to place it right at the kind of as deep as your actual eyes would be inside of the goggles. That way, if you're kind of just looking at, let me see, let me turn off my 3D thing. So basically, when I rotate the Vision Pro around, it's taking a little picture of what's in the region of this square. And the way I'm doing that is by creating this new top layer called the eye texture card. And you can see a little copy of it right over here. And this is just another solid layer. And the very first thing I have on it is an effect that Michael introduced me to, which is way better than my set channels effect that I've been using, which is calculations. So calculations will allow you to use a second layer. It's RGBA values, and just place them on another solid. So I can grab the whole footage, which is perfect.
I do want to point out that the CC composite effect also does this now as of an update like a month or two ago.
Oh, finally.
In After Effects.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's the one I always thought would be able to do it. Yeah.
Right? So there's fewer parameters, so you should calculations is still extremely useful for like blend, if you want to use blend modes or whatnot. If you just want to grab the color from an image and slap it on from one layer, slap it onto another layer, CC composite is the faster.
Ooh, let's do that then. So from scratch, what we would do is we would say CC composite, and now, as you see, they've got a layer selector. It used to just be using whatever the native layer was that you're doing this on top of. So if it was a piece of footage and then you added a gradient, you could then CC composite the original footage back onto the gradient and blend it in a different way. But it's much nicer just to be able to say, I want the stock footage. Look at that. And now if I solo it even, it's just a solid, but it's copying all of the information from that.
And as a side note, this is a way to apply effects to the new 3D stuff in After Effects. We've talked about this before. Because the new version of After Effects lets you import GLTF and GLB files, and if you're in the beta, OBJ files as well, and have them natively rendering in After Effects 3D space. So After Effects 3D layers can interact with 3D models now, but you can't apply effects to those 3D models. However, if you have a solid layer and then use calculations, compound arithmetic, or now CC composite, you can grab the pixel data from that 3D layer and then apply effects to it, or use it to drive other things like shadows for Red Giant shadow and other things like that.
Does it work, just out of curiosity, for what if I select the text layer?
A text layer will then make the text, the solid layer will give you the text.
It puts it in front, okay. And if I uncheck RGB only, then that should...
Yeah, I used it the other day for obscuration.
Okay.
If you want to use text to obscure real lens flares, you can't use a text layer because it doesn't have the correct bounds to the comp. So real lens flares doesn't know what to do with it. So I used this to get a text layer to have the correct full comp sized layer bounds so that it would work with obscuration in real lens flares. Which I know I've said it before. It's one of my favorite new things. Is the obscuration in real lens flares is just so pretty.
It is super, super pretty. And realistic.
Michael
it's really neat.
Shut up about the obscuration.
You could make such good fake UFO videos now because Corridor Crew would be like, wait a second, like that's a real lens flare. It's being obscured. So we've got CC composite here, and again,
how is that even possible?
To summarize what we're doing, I've got this 3D layer that is parented to the Vision Pro as it would move around, and then I'm going to try to use the values of this to influence this secondary copy that I have of the footage by adding a power pin effect. Power pin. Let me uncheck it for now, and I'm actually going to turn off the effect, but you'll be able to still see the interface from it. So a very simple expression you could use if you want to do what I've done here, which is basically taking this eye capture card and putting these power pin points right on the corners of it all, is if I look at my capture card, the solid settings for it, it's a 1080 by 1080 square, and that's important to know. Because then if I go to this power pin effect, you'll see that I have expressions here. And so for the top left, I'm going to use a 2-comp expression where you basically pick whip to a layer like this eye capture card, just the whole layer itself, and then you let go, and then you say dot 2comp. And this is often used with the expression 000 in brackets because it wants to grab the top corner location of this null. And that's actually okay in this particular case. Because what it means is I feel like I took too many steps back. But yeah, basically, since there's a top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right, you can use the dimensions of your card and say that the top left is 0, 0, 0, but the top right would be 1080 by 0 by 0. The bottom left would be 0 by 0 and then down 1080. And then the bottom right would be over 1080, down 1080, like this. And now you have the exact locations of the corners of this card. And not just like that, but if you have this 3D card moves somewhere, you'll actually see that the power pin stays exactly with it, which is really cool. Now, what's happening now is it's stretching the whole piece of footage to fit within that box, which could be a really helpful effect in some cases. But in this case, what I actually want is I want this piece of footage and I want to sample what is within this box. And so for that, I'm going to click this unstretch button. And it looks weird because it's filled the whole frame with this thing. And so it seems weird, but it basically doesn't matter. I can take this little bit and throw it over to the side. And you can see that now what happens is as I rotate my Vision Pro null around, wherever this square is looking in a slightly like 2.5D 3D way, it's looking at whatever part of the image is there and projecting it to this.
Which
and now
it's fantastic, like just fantastic.
So because of that relationship, it means that in Element, I can go to my custom layers and I can say that I want layer 1 to be my eye card texture. And I'm going to apply that using this same UV map that I showed you here in Cinema 4D. And it's going to take that square shape and basically apply it over this. So when I turn my Element layer back on, this is what we see. I can also hide my card there. That whatever is behind the goggle a little bit is getting projected to the front here. And like the cool thing about this being using all of the effects and everything is that you could add stuff like a vignette to this, and then it'll sort of do that vignette effect. And then if you wanted to make it look a little bit more digital, there are many, many ways you can pixelate things. We've talked about them a lot on the show. But our favorite, of course, is, I think under simulation, right? Simulation CC ball action.
CC ball action.
CC ball action is just a lovely, lovely way to pixelate something in this cool way where each little pixel has its own gradation, which is pretty cool. So if I said, like, the grid spacing is 2 and the ball size is, let's see, what size we want. Check this out. You could do balls of any size that you would like in here.
It's good that you can customize the size of the balls. Some people like different sizes.
They absolutely do. So let's check that out. So now you can do all of your effects right here, and then they're porting right through to the texture here. And I don't remember exactly what they look like in real life. It's sort of, but I feel like it's more in this realm, right? Like they're kind of darker and I don't know. There's some kind of a weird thing where like you can sort of see your eyes on some little screen in there, right? Yes. I have not been paying attention to what you see. I need to figure out how to make it so my screen looks like your screen, so I can just look over and see Sonic. Because that's fantastic.
Just so you know that Chris Verano says a CC ball action drop cannot be overused. It is perfection. Yes,
see about that. Challenge accepted.
Alonso Perez Yaksik says they're glad to see we've been released from ZBrush punishment box back to regular programming. That was not punishment. Seth and Hashi love playing in ZBrush and taking their
for that. I mean, honestly, the drop is a little bit punishy, but
It's a little bit punishy, but no, those two episodes where they did the zebra sculpts on a timer and then had to composite them into
if people miss them,
so much fun.
Seth, is there a way we could catch them up on what they've been missing out on?
Probably.
Like if you would talk about this for about 2 more minutes.
Yeah, because I forgot that we talked about that. Let me see.
That is okay. I would have forgotten too. Here's one of the shots that I thought could be kind of fun. This is from a movie that I don't know if you kids out there have seen, but it's one of the better films made, I think. This is an amazing performance by this is Contact. Yes. This is Jodie Foster.
I've seen this film so many times, and I love it. Do I love it? Do I hate it? I've never seen Contact.
You love it.
I've heard it's good.
My goodness,
we love it.
It asks all the big questions about us and our place in this whole cosmos. Check it out. Cosmos, pun intended.
For the love of
it's
God,
written
check it out.
By Carl the Sagan Man Sagan.
That's what they call him. Sagan!
Real quick, if you're interested in seeing Hashi and Seth do ZBrush sculpts, which they have barely touched ZBrush before, on a timer, that link is in the chat from Red Giant as well, or Maxon Training Team, or Maxon, or wherever you're watching this. For those who don't know, we are streaming this on multiple channels. This is on the Maxon channel, the Maxon Training Team YouTube channel, and the Red Giant YouTube channel, and Red Giant Twitch. So anyway, wherever you're watching that, they have posted the link to watch Hashi and Seth do ZBrush sculpts on a timer with barely any experience in ZBrush. And then last week's episode of comping their ZBrush sculpts, also the link is in the chat.
If we talked about Carl Sagan more on the show, I would make a drop that was the end of the 90s Sega commercials where it would yell, Sega! But it would just say
that would be
Sagan.
Pretty good.
So it would be like a dead squirrel on the ground, be like, Sagan! Which I think is how every episode of Cosmos should have ended.
It really should have.
You want to talk about what we did last week? I'll talk about what we did last week.
Yeah, what did we do last week, Seth?
What the hell did we do? We the hell did this.
There was audio last week.
There was audio. We all heard it. Let's try again.
Sculpt icon.
Oh, there it is. I heard it that time.
I heard it that time too. Let's see.
Hey, what happened last week on VFX and Chill?
This. Solid. Hashi, your voice sounds so sexy.
Thank you.
That is an amazing Honest Trailers voice.
Love it. It has like one too many Honest Trailers, like stop and say something in a standard voice jokes in it, but I kind of liked them all, so
Hashi,
they're all in there.
It fits. And if you haven't seen Honest Trailers, folks, do yourself a Nashville favor and watch Nashville Legends do a Nashville thing and watch Honest Trailers.
How does one do a Nashville favor? Can we appropriately answer that?
All I know is that the dude that did that is based in Nashville originally.
Me?
Apparently they couldn't hear that. There we go. No, with honest. Anyway, let's go back to putting Vision Pros on things
When
where they
you
don't
get
belong.
frustrated with me, it is 10 times funnier to me than my whole shtick of getting frustrated with you. I don't know why, Michael. That's like that was the
they
funniest.
they couldn't hear the voiceover, Seth. They still couldn't hear it. We heard it, but
What?
they couldn't hear it.
Are you kidding?
Son
That's
of
what the chat says.
No.
I'm gonna try it again.
No, don't try it
I'm
again.
gonna try it again. I can't.
Don't do it.
I can't not try it
Chat,
again.
you better let us know immediately if you.
Under the pressure of a ticking clock.
Actually, though, how do I save? Okay. They couldn't hear it, but now they can hear it. But
Previously on VFX and Chill, Michael challenged Seth and Hashi to sculpt iconic characters from film history. Under the pressure of a ticking clock.
actually, though, how do I save this?
Also, this is like only their second time playing around with ZBrush.
They're not beginners in visual effects, but they're very much beginners in ZBrush.
By the end of episode 1, they've managed to produce 5 distinct 3D models. Episode 2 presented a new timed challenge.
We're brand new at this. This is effectively our first time trying out these techniques.
Our contestants were forced to paint, animate, and composite their models into their original source films. And the results speak for themselves. But why? What is the point of all this? Well, new softwares can feel super intimidating.
Hashi and Seth do not know ZBrush. They've maybe used it once or twice in their lives. So this is your chance to watch people who have not really used the software use it. So you can feel reassured if you don't feel confident in ZBrush. Neither do they. And they're still going to have fun.
Watch the 2 action-packed episodes right now on the Maxon Red Giant and Pixelogic YouTube channels. And imagine what you could do with more time, more practice, or by referring to the hundreds of hours of free training material available on these same channels. VFX and Chill. We do the scary part, so you can watch it.
Who wants to watch it again? Anybody?
This time with audio.
2
and no
more
visuals.
times.
I'm gonna play with this time. I'm gonna play with the audio, but with other audio not related on top of it. Here we go.
Previously on VFX and Chill.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. I love what you're doing, Hush.
Yes, it's amazing.
This was Andrew's suggestion, right?
Literally nobody in the chat suggested that.
Wait, no. Someone suggested Radioactive Man.
Not in the chat.
Not in the chat.
Wait.
Where else are they talking to you, Hush?
I swear I saw this somewhere.
Hashi sees Radioactive Man comments in his sleep.
I do. I just always assume. If I can't read the whole thing, I just assume it was about Radioactive Man.
GeoTracker still able to track
Batman
his face,
was
even with the helmet.
suggested.
Wow.
Thank you, GeoTracker.
Look at that.
I could be using Lockdown for this now, couldn't I?
That's
I need
a keen tool.
I need to learn Lockdown. Vranos, I need you to come on the show and teach me how to do your new Magic 3D tracking stuff with Lockdown.
See, here's the thing that Keen doesn't love is the slow push in.
Really doesn't. It's like, oh, there's no way someone goes that far stylistically.
Andrew Smith, Hashi says that it was them. They had the quote that says, "The goggles, they do nothing."
I thought it was Andrew. Okay.
Yeah. So while they didn't say Radioactive Man in the chat, they did reference it.
You don't have to. With Hashi.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see. So this looks so weird. This looks like that,
If only Element had a tune shading feature.
well, actually, bizarrely, you could go to the draft mode. Oh, I forgot that that doesn't do obscuration.
No! What? It just became freaking terrifying.
Oh, hang on. No, all you need to do
Moon
is
Knight now.
no, just throw the extract effect. Just throw the extract effect on there and take out the white. You're good.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Take out the
it's not
whites.
going to take
Michael
out the
Zalewski.
white Apple Vision Pro at all. You can
Well,
just change the color of that in Element to green.
Boom.
Remember? Oh, well, you guys, whatever.
Look at this. Perfect.
Perfect.
It's done. It's done. We'll never speak of it again. And now I could actually go to my Yep. It's perfect. Okay, so let's see. When does he get them on? He gets them on right there.
Hashi, I want to see some of these other things that we were talking about too. Once you're finished with this one, because there's so many places where the Apple Vision Pro will be hilarious to add, including what
really
the chat
are.
suggested.
Let's see. What were some of the other chat suggestions?
Oh, you found a clip. Well, you also, in our clips we pulled, you found a clip in Forrest Gump that is really funny.
Oh, the Forrest Gump clip is 100%. We have to do that.
I had forgotten. I thought it'd be
later.
funny if just to do the first time he starts talking to somebody on the bench.
Which I did grab.
But you found this clip I'd forgotten about where he gets invested in Apple. And then it cuts. The cut is so good because it cuts to him on the bench, and it's a perfect reveal of if here's what you're thinking. Cut to the bench, and he has them on while he's talking.
Let's see. I think my audio doesn't go through. But,
I can do it. I can.
Let's see.
Is it Forrest Gump Apple? I gotcha. Preview on.
So about 22 seconds in.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
Money. He got me invested in some kind of fruit company. And so then I got a call from him saying we don't have to worry about money no more. And I said,
Yeah.
that's good. One less thing.
That would be so perfect.
Just wearing the dress.
That's going to be so good because that head motion is going to really sell that it's on it. Like it's going to be we have to do that one so we can share it later.
All right, I'll get working on that one then.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a little. I'm just gonna try and see if this Private Ryan one will be any good, and then I'm gonna move on to something else because I don't know if I want to roto a helmet right now. But I think I've got a decent track. Let's export. Do not link it.
Oh, speaking of tracking and the 3D tracking that works in Cinema 4D from Chris Franos, he says he'll be glad to join us on a show soon enough, but he'll be taking care of his grandmother for the next couple weeks. Or a few weeks,
Bring
so
her
it'll
on.
have to wait
Good
a bit.
man.
She is welcome on the show, but it's obviously up to you, Pranos, whether you.
And Alonso Perez Yaksik says Mirage Man as a suggestion for goggling things.
Wait, who's Mirage Man?
I don't remember. He's like, it's me.
Right behind you.
Purge cache. Do 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 do. This helmet's gonna make this one tricky.
I was thinking that about the Indiana Jones one.
Yeah. It's pretty funny though. If I can get the
That's
helmet
pretty
thing.
good.
Oh, that's so good. The reflections when he's looking up.
Yeah,
So
I got to
funny.
change the reflections because he's in a warehouse based on these reflections. But so stupid.
I love that so much.
I love that they're reflections inside a warehouse. We've got to have a Warzone-y looking HDR, right?
Yeah, somewhere.
We've probably given
Did
a
they
shout
take
out.
You
HDR
really
eyes
just
on-
need an
on-
outdoorsy
at
one.
Normandy?
There-
Do you think that someone set up a mirror ball and or a
Probably.
360?
There are some kind of beachy HDRIs in the Cinema 4D asset browser, I believe.
All right, I'm gonna come back to this one. I want to do another one right now. Let's see.
Don't forget to save.
Thank you. Boop. I mean, I'm staying in the project file like a crazy person, but here's looking at you, kid from Casablanca. I don't remember if that.
Oh, nice one.
Does he turn
Nice.
around and say it? I don't remember.
It's in the exchange in the two shot. It's like right in the middle of this clip. This was a decently
Can you see
decent
this?
quality.
Oh, you can't. No, you can't see my preview for it.
No, I can't see the preview. This one was a decent quality, but it looked like the levels needed to be boosted.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what the original intent of the color correction on this was.
Spielberg and crew in the warehouse reflection as if you're on a soundstage is the suggestion from Patrick Adkins.
Oh, I like that. And I also like the potential challenge of cutting to the idea that he's got like some kind of like heads-up display that is weighing the idol and stuff like that, like from a first-person perspective, which I'm curious if we could recreate. I don't remember the shots right there. If the approach shot could be turned into a.
You talking about Indiana Jones? Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, Indiana Jones. I'm wondering if you could simulate a POV shot based on this one, because there's just the one.
Oh yeah.
Really nice front view of it like that. I don't remember if they cut.
You could do. You know what you could do is you could take it. No, you could take that.
Sort of.
You take that front view, dude. Put it in Photoshop with a depth map and project it on mirror. You can create like a 3D view.
Oh, you totally could of that whole back room. Oh yeah, you could use this back room and then do the pedestal separately.
Mm-hmm. Frigby wants you to do the Blade Runner. I've seen attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion bit.
It's just glitching out in the rain.
Hey, your Predator clip isn't playing for some reason. Something up with that MP4?
I hope not. I was surprised that someone had such good. Let's see which one. The one that's called Predator or Thermal Vision Scenes.
Predator.
4K
1987 UHD. Is that a trailer?
Didn't load for me either. No, it's it's a scene.
That's fine.
No, this one's a. Let's see. No, I want to find that for you. I feel like maybe I saved it in a weird way. Let me see.
Encode selected video files.
While you're looking for that, Amalowski suggests the Shining.
Oh, here. I'm gonna read.
Here's Johnny.
I'm re-grabbing it, Seth.
Great. Oh, I see it.
Great. See if that one works. I think I tried to get a full 4K version of it.
Oh, you thought of the Titanic scene too. I thought of that one too. I didn't know if it would be funny with if she's wearing it.
Yeah, because he says do you trust me, and steps up behind her, so he should then lower it onto her face and then say open your eyes, and it's that, and then what it you maybe somehow play the whole scene the beautiful sunset thing, and then you just cut back to this dude's dorm room or something like that of them. It needs.
Yeah, I was trying to think could you change the background? There's a lot of movement, but could you set it to where they're just in a living room?
I think that you probably could do an environment replace on that.
And you put a fan in front of them.
Exactly.
So he lowers it. Yeah, his hand disappears. His screen. Well,
there's a close up where he's whispering and saying it would be right there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's a good. He steps behind her and then says something that it's right here, then you see his hands come lower down on the screen and put them on.
This is multiple.
I don't shots. It's the comedy is all over the place. When I'm trying to think, wait, so are they on the? Yeah, where they're starting from.
I think you keep them in Titanic, and he says, "Open your eyes," and she opens it, and it's just the movie Titanic is playing in front of her while she's. It's some AR joke to where it's
you're missing the experience of the thing.
Yes, it's he's showing her some underwhelming look, the terms and conditions for
what
terms of use.
There are so many movies like Jurassic Park, I guess, but scenes where characters are looking at something just awe-inspiringly beautiful.
Alonso Perez Yaksik says, change it to Revolutionary Road. There must be a living room scene with Kate and Leo in it.
That's true. If you wanted to, you could use that.
There's that whole that fake trailer that came out a couple of years ago that was Titanic 2, and it was a bunch of clips from Revolutionary Road.
Oh, it's bleak.
John J.R. Robeck says, but with the Raiders face melt scene, the goggles could slide off with the ooze, and I should not go past this without pointing out that there's an amazing free face melting template available for you that Hashi made. Link for that is in the chat from Red Giant or Maxon.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to melt faces a la Raiders of the Lost Ark, you can do it for free, assuming you have Trap Code.
Hashi, are you working on Forest? Or do you want me to work on Forest?
You're welcome to work on Forest if you like. I've been so distracted. I'm just like looking at great audience suggestions and not doing a darned thing over here.
Speaking of audience suggestions, Child of God suggests come to Jesus and be saved. So there you go.
You know what?
I feel like putting goggles on that situation would be.
I'm not sure they wanted you to put goggles on it. I think they just wanted you.
Oh,
to
it
put
wasn't.
Your soul
so that wasn't a suggestion for.
I don't think so. But Out Jogging Pictures is suggesting. Out Jogging Pictures is suggesting using Doc Brown when he lowers his glasses in front of his face and says, "It says, let me just read this directly. Doc Brown when he lowers his glass down on his face, but it's the Vision Pro. We don't need roads.
We don't need roads. The classic line."
The classic line, we don't need roads.
Where we're going,
I'm sorry,
we need lots of roads.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
I'm
he
just
goes,
having too
we
much
don't
fun
need
with all
roads.
of
He
you
puts
right
it on,
now. This is
and
great.
then he drives the DeLorean through Marty's house, or straight into a pole.
Oh
Excellent.
my gosh. My friend lives right there. I should ask him to run outside and shoot a plate.
Right there. Do that.
We need roads. He puts it on and then just... We have that DeLorean somewhere, I think. Wait, do we or do we not? Where did we land on that, dude? We went everywhere trying to find our DeLorean.
We swear that we've had a DeLorean on the show, and I know I featured one in the Cheap Tricks, and neither of us could find our DeLorean anywhere. Like it was like we couldn't find the DeLorean.
Neither
ridiculous.
of us could find the DeLorean anywhere.
Got to remember where you park them.
Okay, I kind of want him just wearing these for the rest of the... All right, I'm just going to do this shot, though.
It's a great shot. That dude, whoever that guy is, he looks like Colin Hanks.
Looks just like Colin Hanks. If you know who this is in the chat, please let us know. Also, was there a specific one of us you wanted to come to Jesus, or just all of us? I'm curious if that was directed at any one of us.
I think the Child of God is just trying to randomly witness about the gospel across
Child of
as
God?
many.
Well,
do we have Jesus with us, ladies and gentlemen?
It's either we're either all or Jesus is the specific one we're talking about in this instance.
Jesus is God's son.
By the way, that's my favorite hymn. Jesus is the specific one we're talking about in this case.
Jesus is God's son.
We're doing so well.
Like biologically, we are God's son. We are God's children, adopted. We are grafted into the branch, as Jesus says in the book of John. But let's not get into that right now. Let's worry about putting Vision Pros on things.
Michael, what I appreciate is you're like, don't try to witness to me. I got this. I got this taken care of.
I'm already saved, but we're fine. Let's focus on After Effects.
I think we're all good.
Okay, so I am curious. Okay, if we wanted to, so for this scene, because I feel like it could be pretty great if it starts with. It'd be fun if you could somehow like cut off this shot, and so what happens is then he lowers into it, and that's the reveal. So we just crop it off slightly to hide that he's not wearing it at first.
That's
and then
great.
he comes down into this view, and then you need to swap to his POV where it's like doing an analysis of the thing and saying like this weighs this many kilograms, and then he does the whole.
Or is there something stupid like really Apple? You don't want it to be like a Iron Man HUD. Like I almost feel like should he just be watching Raiders of the Lost Ark on a video or a YouTube video? A YouTube video he has in the corner of somebody switching. Now we're just creating extra content for this. You do,
which I kind of like. What's kind of nice is like he's got his hat like really like perched up for this to like so he gets the full view. So it'll be good for the sake of the Vision Pro here.
Hey, do you know
Jesus
if I can
saves,
copy?
But I save incremental.
Okay,
can I copy and paste?
Damn it, Michael.
Can I copy and paste like stuff from this Vision Pro comp like into another comp, or do I need to move? Do I need to work in this comp, Hush?
You could probably copy like the null, the capture, like those four things, but you might need to relink them. So
Yeah.
I would say maybe just do
pre-comp. Do I need this eyes pre-comp?
No, you can delete that now.
Okay.
That was the original way I was thinking that we could work, is like you would just have a pre-comp where you sort of lined up and tracked and centered the character's eyes using RBF or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm realizing that to do this Indiana Jones thing, I need a sort of need an edit of it to understand how the joke will flow, but also maybe recreating the room would be a good thing to do real quick.
The movie The Room?
The movie The Room.
Bringing
the entire
Tommy
movie.
Wiseau might be the way to do this.
We've got to be able to get Tommy for the show, right?
I don't think we want to. I mean, he's funny. It's like the whole thing is funny, but someone was pointing out.
That's fair. That's understandable. Okay, so this is the shot right here that I'm going to try to create more first-person view out of. So we'll need to sort of turn this more 3D. So this will be one reference image. Let's save this image. Or actually, let's just do the our favorite create reference frame button. Doop. Because if I click on that, it'll just open this right up in Photoshop. Look at that. Okay, so there's one image that I can use. And then let's dive back to here and say, oh, how close did that get? Not very close. Later on when he's doing this sand through his fingers thing, I think that's the closest view we get of this idol. I've had a 3D model of, I don't remember what this one is called.
The fertility idol?
Fertility idol.
Is that a fertility idol?
It is.
I've seen a lot. I've seen a few fertility idols. That one is
no. Look closely at it. It has sure tail signs.
It's got
a fertility idol. Look at the front. It's got more going on than we all remember.
Go back. Stop, Hashi. Go to the. Yeah, I've seen way better fertility idols.
Okay, Michael. We understand that you're surrounded by fertility idols at all times.
That's what he spends $4,000 of show budget every weekend.
All of his fertility idols.
Could you imagine what we would do if we had a show budget? My gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for real. We'd just buy Apple Vision Pros for ourselves and do the show.
Hey,
like
chat,
this.
if you have any suggestions for what we should do if we had a show budget, feel free to drop them in the comments and the chats.
You want us to have a show budget? I do. Then what we need to do, everybody, I need everybody to get on their phone, look at their contacts.
Email the Maxon CEO.
Text everyone in their contacts to go watch VFX and Chill right now. We'll turn it on. Just leave it playing. They don't even have to pay attention or watch it.
And if we do something hilarious,
subscribing would be helpful. You should just hit like and subscribe, and then just leave it on in the background.
Do it all right now, and then email CEO of Maxon and say VFX and Chill sent me here, and then don't do anything weird.
Perfect. Now that you've got their email, just I need you to play it cool, please. Wait, why can't I? Yes, I really want to quit. That's why I said quit. What was I doing? I was gathering images to.
Budget idea is affording them as a guest. Justin, would you
shut up?
You can have the same. You'll get the same rate as Academy Award winning Peter Ramsey.
Yeah, we've had Oscar winners on this show.
Yeah. What the hell? How'd we do it?
And however many awards, Everything Everywhere All at Once won. We've had them on the show too.
Oh yeah.
When I said,
Sorry.
Is that sound coming through?
Sorry, that was Forrest Gump. Yeah. I haven't positioned it correctly, but it's kind of funny hanging low on his face like this.
That's so Forrest.
Oh, that head motion. I knew that head motion was going to work so well with it.
Good gracious.
Hashi, which clip of this are you putting goggles on?
I'm trying to find. So the goggles part, I feel like will be kind of boring. So I'm excited about this. About trying to figure out how to create a first-person
Classic
view.
Hashi. The easy thing is boring. I want to figure out how to do the really hard, time-consuming thing.
Well, we've got an hour left in the show, so go for it.
Okay, an hour left in the show. So,
And so
I
many
have
goals we have to
grabbed. I've grabbed these two stills, and I don't know if I'm honestly going to be able to get anything much better than this. So we're going to try to turn this into a full first-person view that looks of Indiana Jones being able to kind of look around in this Apple Vision Pro view. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into here and see what happens if I tell Photoshop to select subject. I'm hoping it selects this pedestal and the idol. Pretty much. Not bad.
Bad.
So I'll add this bit to it. Okay. So then I'm going to, what do I want to do? I want to select and mask so I can smooth that out a little bit. Say OK. Control J to make a little copy of it. And then I'm going to select the pixels of that. And then I'm going to select expand by about 10 pixels. Then I'm also going to select the black regions from the letterboxing.
I can't get enough of this Forrest Gump clip. It's so funny.
I absolutely believe, like, it's such a vibe. Like this guy specifically walking around town with Apple Vision Pro on.
I haven't.
No wonder he's able to experience all these historical events.
One thing I don't want to do is have to puppet. I'm going to have to, or liquefy his the strap on the back of his head to fit.
Oh, I should have put that on another aux channel.
How could you, Hashi?
How could you?
Well, you could just you could at least when you add the liquefy, for the center right there, for where it says whatever distortion offset, link that to the the 2 comp location of the.
I think I'm better off.
just keyframing it on.
Yeah, honestly, it's like that's what you would do.
Okay, so over here I'm working on trying to erase the background so I can have this kind of thing. And here's what I'm also going to do. I'm going to try... I have the idle, I have the background, and then I'm going to try the Photoshop expand thing like this and expand downward. And just see what it gives me. Should I say, let's see, cave interior, stone ground. I probably should have said nothing and just let it come up with something. Yep, should have let it come up with something. Fine. Okay, come up with your own thing then. You tell me what the ground is. That's funny. Added stairs, which is a reasonable guess.
It is.
Okay, no stairs. Crossing my fingers. It's thinking. Yes. Okay. I like this one because it's got kind of even lighting. So what I like about this setup is now I'm going to have this nice kind of like straight line that I can imagine is sort of one plane, and then from here forward could sort of be a different plane. And I'll do my very favorite trick in After Effects to deal with that. Let's save this as somewhere in here, Indie POV. Okay, so now we've got the background layer, and now I've got to look at some of the reference photos I have for... Oh, did I close the idle close-up one? I did. Darn it, which one was it? It would be... So this? Yeah, here we go. Gotta try to reassemble this. But we need to see it at a slight angle. What does it look like? Where's Indy during this? Need to put some markers in here. Okay, so he comes up and then crouches down and is like right face to face with it. So he's very close. It's gonna be challenging. Almost low. Goodness gracious. Okay. So this is the highest quality straight on version of this from the film. There's the slightly to the side version. I don't know if I can do one of those, try to adjust the angle on this. But I feel like I ought to use this, right?
I feel like you should, yes.
Okay, so let's go with this. Let's expand, give ourselves a little bit more real estate.
I feel like Justin Leduc may have had too much rum or whiskey or gin or whatever. What does Justin Leduc drink, do you think? Whiskey, gin, rum, bourbon?
There's no way to know.
Wine, beer?
No way to know.
No, just from what you know of Justin Leduc from the chat, what tipple do you believe they fancy? Gasoline?
Fun dip?
Andrew Smith says, throw me the idol, I'll throw you the whip.
All right, this is pretty good. Okay, we're just using some generative expand and fill in the old Photoshop.
Seth, what are you doing on your side?
LaCroix, so much LaCroix.
I was super comping. So here it is without super comping. I was just trying to match some black levels, add some grain, and also some blur.
Wow.
Those are some good compositing tips right there.
The other thing, so like this is like film footage, but it's been pulled off YouTube, so it's like low res. I tricked my buddy. Wow. Well, just forgot my good friend's name for literally no reason because he's a good
Colin
friend
Hanks.
of mine. Tom Hanks showed me this. I don't know why I can't remember this man's name, and he's a very good friend of mine. I'm just blanking.
We'll come back to it. We'll put a show note to Mitch.
Joey Chickaline. Wow, Joey, I don't know how I just blanked on who you are. His little trick for this, when he's trying to match stuff, either make something look like an older resolution or like have it match kind of a low resolution plate. Do a little a little bit of blur. In this case, I'm using fastbox blur at like 0.5, and then a sharpen, which I've got at like a 10. So it's like
that's what I always do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or unsharp mask, depending on what I'm trying to emulate. Yes.
Totally. And then I like to use add grain to put grain on top because I like the specific controls I can use to try and match the grain. Also, this is my preset I was using on Sketch to match the Alexa grain, and it works fine enough here. So
I have objections to that.
I know you do. I've used Renoiser on stuff where I am adding noise overall to something, but when I'm trying to add grain just to one layer to match another
I know. Justin Leduc generously calls LaCroix lemon flavored water. LaCroix is not fruit flavored anything. It's sparkling water that has had fruit described to it.
It's fruit adjacent.
Justin Leduc is also asking, can you reiterate the goal of today's show? Yes, putting Apple Vision Pros where they belonged the whole time.
Everywhere.
We've been there all along. We're showing, how much more fun people could have had in these situations. Okay, I'm trying to create a more front-on view of this piece here. And I'm going to do a very fun trick that I haven't been able to use in a little while. Okay, this is it's getting closer. Do you know that I did not ever use layer masks in Photoshop until like this year?
The same hill?
I know what they do and stuff.
I worked solely destructively in Photoshop up until very recently.
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
It's like
Seriously?
Practical filmmaking somehow.
It isn't.
It is.
It is.
It's
Trust us,
impractical.
Michael.
Okay, I'm just going to save this the way it is. Then I'm going to go over to this indie POV. And this is where I'm going to paste this thing. It's much higher resolution than the rest. Okay, so we'll set that there. And, I should have brought this into that. Image. In fact, I will.
Hang on, can we applaud that camera move, by the way, on Seth's side, where it comes it comes and goes up and then over and then down? Like, that's a solid camera move.
That's a techno crane. Yeah.
So good.
I mean, it could just be a dolly. It could just be on rails, but if it's booming at all, then that's I don't think it is tilting down. Who knows?
Wait, I didn't see what
rendering.
It's a shot over that goes over Forrest Gump's shoulder to look at the letter from about Apple stock, but like the way it moves from like a normal shot to then over the shoulder shot and then into the like almost a macro shot of the letter is just so smooth and natural feeling. Even though it's such a weird shot to do, it just feels perfect the way they did it. Like I don't feel enough attention is paid to like basic cinematography stuff, like getting the camera from A to B. And it's just so well done in that shot.
Yeah, my biggest disappointment in I'm going to say it, in modern cinematography, filmmaking and cinematography discourse is that we talk about light. We talk about light, and light is so important. However, as a kid growing up, the thing that excited me and impressed me wasn't really the light ever. It was the way that a scene was staged, the way that a shot was staged, and blocked, and the way that it's shot design itself in camera movement and camera placement. And I feel like there's all the discourses on light, and that's great. And it happens to be one of my main weaknesses is light, but like camera movement, camera placement, camera blocking, like that to me is where I'll nerd out about stuff. It's probably a Spielberg thing because most light in Spielberg movies, for the most part, was just fill it with haze and blast light in from the windows, and
everyone was just smoking back then. Those weren't even fog machines.
It's true. It's just nonstop cigarette smoke.
I can't tell if this damages the look. This looks like what's his face mix.
That looks like a gremlin. Looks like
That's what it looks like. Thank you.
Does this help make it feel like this is a slightly more straight on view to see some of the?
Yes.
No, it's still an angle. The face is still at an angle, dude.
I mean, the face is still at an angle, but does that sheet
more straight
assist?
on because you have the other side. Yes, it does assist. Yes, Hashi.
I don't think so. To me, I'm looking at it. It looks like it's still an angle. Until you fix that face, it's an angle shot. It looks like you just added more on the other side.
All right, so we're going to go to liquefy mode, and then one thing that we could do is we could go to what I'm curious about is, let's see, if I go to eye size. Yeah, it totally knows that's the face. Oh, wait. I don't know if this is on screen enough. We go. Nose height.
Keep going. Still can't see it.
Still can't see the controls.
Oh, the controls look like this.
Boring.
If you
Go back to what we're seeing.
do liquefy and then there's a
You
clear
got
face.
plenty of space to
in
be able
there.
to make that window smaller, dude. Like you got all that dead space around the head.
Fine.
There you go. You can
Hey.
you got a
Let's
little
check it out. So look, I can make him smile more.
How insulting.
Upper lip.
I remember the first time Adobe showed that off, and they got so much flack because it was on a photo of a woman.
Did they really use it on a photo of a woman? Come on.
Yes. And famously, that is, that was a bad move on their part. Every time since then, they showed it on a dude.
Let's see, what is I looking for? Oh, you know what?
I
It's
worked with an
not.
actress one time who was
It's not in here.
one of the first things she said to me was, I need you to tell me when I need to smile. You're not going to insult me. I just need to make sure. I need to say that right off the bat. She's like, I have resting bitch face. I don't want it. I don't want it in the final product. So I need you to tell me when I'm not smiling. I was like, okay.
That's a very good actress.
They're like,
Yeah.
will you please tell me how much?
She's aware of your
a test
sensitivities
this
as
is?
a modern director. It's nice.
Yeah. I'm going to put in our personal chat who it was.
Okay, I'm going into the neural filters to the smart portrait mode because I'm curious if I go to global settings right here. I believe that I can adjust head direction. So I'm going to see if I turn this.
See if it can
up.
turn the head for you.
I'll see if it turns this head for me.
Photoshop turn over the head. Alonso, what's
Spider-Man
wrong with making a woman
Photoshop turn over
smile?
the head.
Alonso, so famously, women, especially in workplaces, have been expected to be cheerier and peppier and not focused and serious on
And
getting
they
the work
just
done.
haven't been. Sorry.
Good, good, great.
So it's very misogynistic to be like, come on, lady, smile more. Like it's from the old, just like it's.
Hey, sweetie, you should smile more. I'm gonna
Women
say that
have
to
been
you,
told to
Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Women have been told they need to smile more their whole lives in a very misogynistic way. Yes.
If you're just
Justin,
tuning
with
in,
the,
we're
like,
talking about feminism in the workplace, sexism in the workplace. This is VFX.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
do it.
Yeah, don't
Don't do sexism.
If you also next time you're watching a Maxon stream and you see a woman presenter, maybe don't comment on her appearance, just like you didn't comment on the appearance of all the male presenters before her.
Yeah, will someone start commenting on my appearance? For the love of God, I try really hard.
Before Maxon, like when I was just a user watching the Maxon streams, I'd be sitting there minding my own business, and they used to have chat enabled on the live streams, and every time a female presenter would come on, suddenly the chat would be filled with discussions about her appearance. Like they didn't do that about the male presenters at all, and I had comments to say about. But no, I'm just kidding. No, it's just one of those things that where women are treated differently from men, and a lot of times people don't notice that they're doing it. So asking a woman to smile more is a trigger for some people. Anyway, that was just an aside. That was not meant to get into this whole discussion about the very deep topic about microaggressions in the workplace. Hashi, how is your thing coming? And Seth, how is your thing coming?
I feel like
My thing's rendered, and I'm about to post it so people can tune into the show. But I am looking on YouTube right now for clips of a clip from Terminator. I feel like there's an opportunity there.
Oh yeah, there are so many cool 1980s movies where the bad guy has cool vision.
He's absent. The one in Terminator 2, he's naked and it pushes in on his face and he looks around and it goes to POV. The idea of him showing up nude with an Apple Vision Pro on could be funny.
Okay, I think this is passably.
I think you should avoid nudes in our show. That's passable. Yeah, you can get away with that.
Do a little teeny.
You know why? It's Spielberg, man.
More.
No one expects like Kubrick level symmetry in a Spielberg movie.
That's true. Plus, this
Especially
is
on Raiders.
the first person view.
This is let's move on the movie.
Let's move on the movie.
In Steven Spielberg, in Spielberg history. For those who don't know, Spielberg was pretty well known for going way over budget and over schedule on all of his movies up to this point, and he had just had a major bomb called 1941, and his buddy Lucas brought him this idea for Indiana Jones, and stood by him. They pitched the movie around, and he said, He said, I'm basically Lucas's whole set these parameters of like, we're going to come in under budget. You're going to shoot this like you would shoot TV. You're going to, if you get a good enough take, you're moving on. And that was the exercise of this movie. And it became one of AFI's greatest 100 movies in history, which shows just move on, guys. You get the take, move on.
Just move on.
Just move on.
You don't have to be Fincher. I like that T-shirt.
You don't have to be Fincher. It's something you yell at a director who's being a pedantic jerk on set.
This is a YoPlay commercial.
It's what I yell at my wife when we're having a fight. Should I not? Don't yell at your wife.
Depends on how film nerdy your wife is.
I thought you said something else. Let's get Terminator. Boom.
Okay, I've selected this object. Relatively selected this object.
All right, this is tough.
Okay,
Hey Seth, how did they create those glowing melted metal edges on that truck, on that stuff for this movie?
You know, for Terminator 2, that's probably drawn on. That looks like it's drawn on the cell. Oh no, my RAM.
Oh no.
Schwarzenegger's blowing up my RAM. My Dodge Ram. He just keeps blowing up my cars.
Oh man, one of my friends from DreamWorks and now has a very entertaining TikTok named Jeremy Shipp wanted to find out where they did the Bigature truck explosion from the first Terminator, and like it's listed as places, but like he goes on this great like hunt around Hollywood and Burbank to find
the
lot where they blew up this truck, and it's fantastic.
I need to see this. I used to, when I lived in LA, I had a specific list on Google Maps of just every film location from all my favorite movies and TV shows. And so whenever we were out and about, if we were in the area of someplace, I'd stop and I'd get a picture that tried to match, a shot. And I would always I'd post them on my Instagram most of the time. One time I posted the Burger King from the beginning of Back to the Future, and I posted on Instagram, and one of my friends was like, "Surely, I'm sure you know the significance of that Burger King, right?" And I'm like, "Why the hell would I post a picture of a Burger King in Burbank? Like, what other
maybe
reason?
they thought it was the Digital Underground Burger King.
Yeah, like no, tell me the significance of this this Burger King, this random Burger King in Burbank across from Ares headquarters. I want to watch. Can you later remind me? I want to ask you. I want to see that link.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure I send that to you. All right. So I'm finally back to something valuable that I can show over here. So we've created this higher res, closer to straight on view of the idol and this little pedestal in the foreground here for Indy's POV. But I really want it to look like a true POV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this layer, and then I've called it idle. It's got the transparency. And then I'm going to go to filter, neural filters. Oh man, I got to slide this whole thing over. Oh, good. Then I'm going to go.
Burger King. I didn't vote for him.
You don't vote for kings, Michael.
Yeah, it's famously unvoted in.
Well, I mean, women in lakes lobbing around swords is no basis for democracy.
What?
Michael is trying
I'm trying to bring Monty
to the amazing Palin line. All right, so I'm going to neural filters in Photoshop, and then I'm going to depth blur right here. But I'm not going to use any of these exciting settings. I'm just going to go down here and check output depth map only. And now I'm going to wait for just a second while it thinks.
Meanwhile, Todd Drager says they have that RAM problem in AE 2024 too, Seth. They never used to have it. Does 2024 have memory leaks? Are you on a Mac or PC? And also, for me personally, I tend to run in the public beta all the time, and I have not had this issue at all. So I try the public beta.
Okay, I'll try the beta because I believe them when they say there's leaks because, yep. Scene edit detection.
Ooh, I didn't like that. I got a not good result.
Didn't get your depth.
Didn't get a good depth. Let me see if I need to put a black solid in the background here. And then I'll select all this, and I'm going to make a flat copy of it. And then I'm going to say filter, neural filters. And we'll go over here to depth blur, output depth map only. Now
Justin LeDuc
black
is
in the background.
wondering if Arnold may have worked out once or twice because he seems to be a little bit strong.
He's a little bit strong. He's a little bit country.
This is not good.
I wonder if
I mean, it's a little bit good.
It's a little bit good, but it's not what I wanted.
Good.
Okay, I'm going to say okay, but I'm going to say no, I'm not satisfied with the results. No, I don't want to submit all this stuff right now. Fine. Okay. So what I wanted here was I wanted to create a depth map of this because I can use it as a cool displacement map if I were doing a 2D effect, or I can use it as a displacement layer for geometry, both in Cinema and in Mirror. So that's what I was hoping to do. So a depth map, if you don't know, is one where
They know. They had to have watched our most watched episode in history.
Oh, absolutely. A depth map is a depth map. And
eat it.
Here, we're supposed to have one, but granted, I did like cobble all this stuff on, so maybe somehow it just doesn't like my cobbled together geometry, but I'm just going to grab some of the existing colors, grab my smudge brush, hardness to 0%, and then just blur some of this together. Try to recreate what should be more appropriate depth map.
0%.
0% right there.
And I have Arnold on screen. I was writing a movie once with a friend it was a parody of like Arnold movies and of Commando and Predator, that genre. And we had a line, I still wish I could put in something where this troop is like going into war, like walking into the jungle, and it's like, hey Captain, what do you think our chances are of surviving this? And he's like, 0%. And I remember thinking, like what terrible leadership to just say 0% as you lead your troop into war. I'm sorry, I wasted our time with that.
Speaking of the depth map reference you made earlier, the crazy things you can do with depth maps episode, including a free script you can download. The link for that is in the chat.
What free script? We're so nice.
It's a screenplay I wrote. Don't get too excited.
No, it's for taking depth map info and doing cool things in After Effects. Go check it out after this show is done.
Okay, goodness gracious. I'm so sad that it didn't even attempt some kind of depth mappy thing on this. Grr.
That's a bummer.
Grr, I say. Okay, so tell this myself. Okay, let's turn the strength down a little bit.
What you could do, them both separate as depth maps. It get tricky, but you could do platform, and then you could just do the idle on its own, put a depth map on that, and then just match black levels and stuff.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. So what do? We could, copy that, and then copy this. Oh my goodness, Seth, you're a genius, I think.
You're a genius, I think.
Okay, so we just have the pedestal like this. What if we do our neural filter on that?
It is just not giving you.
It's just not liking this thing. I mean, the cinematic lighting often can be confusing for it. Okay. I need to do something in another window for a second. I love that I've just gone off on this other weird path today.
Okay, I'm about to try and geotrack Schwarzenegger's head in this nude here.
I'm not sure exactly why you're even needing depth maps, Hashi. You're just working.
I want to show off the use mirror to make a 3D thing out of a photo thing, and and usually this part would be much faster.
Yeah, so it's because you got that cinematic lighting, plus you've got a bunch of just grassy bits all over the place.
It's grassy bits.
Grassy bits.
Why don't we have more viewers? I don't know. I don't get it. Grassy bits.
Folks in the chat, any suggestions of what we should do to get more viewers?
Okay, I'm going to save this as what? Non-American Idol.
Amazing.
Or is it South American Idol? I don't remember where he is.
Do they
says, right? I think it says. What does it say? It's like it's the first text in the film.
Oh, what in the film?
Like darkest Peru. Like I don't remember
that's Paddington. It's darkest Peru.
I know 100%. That's
it's Peru 1936 or whatever. 1930. Let's see.
Michael Powlek says, if you want more viewers, you should smile more.
That's what I was laughing at.
Thank you. That's appropriate.
Alonso Perez says, it's better like this. They think a crowded chat gets annoying.
That's true. Then it's just people like saying their name in the chat somehow, which is very silly.
First, oh hush.
Oh, I've updated plenty. Adobe.
While Hashi works on updating and Seth works on tracking, I would like to remind you folks that the Red Giant YouTube channel, which you could find at YouTube at Maxon Red Giant, has started doing some shorts on YouTube, little short video segments from Maxon Color. Instead of doing a long live stream, Max from Maxon Color started doing really short little quick tips, and he's done a whole bunch on different ways of getting glitch effects in Premiere Pro or Avid Media Composer, DaVinci Resolve, After Effects, pretty much anywhere where Universe is a host. He's worked. There's more ways than you would think of getting glitch effects, and he's got I think 5 up already, maybe 6 by now. Another one was scheduled to go live in the midst of our show. So if you have not yet checked it out, look for the shorts section on the Red Giant YouTube channel for a bunch of different interesting ways to get different kinds of glitch effects in your videos.
Those are fantastic, Max, by the way.
Speaking of
the VHS one's great.
Speaking of shorts, I don't know if you all are aware of this, but Hashi, are you aware of this scene in T2 where he walks into the bar nude and is looking for clothes?
This is actually the only scene from this movie I've seen.
Are you for real?
No.
Okay.
I love this movie.
So we were just going to stop and just watch.
Sorry, to answer your earlier question, the titles in Indiana Jones are South America, 1936.
Just South America. So South American Idol would have been fine.
So he's supposed to be nude in this scene, but this is actually what he was wearing under the camera, which
that makes me so happy.
Oh, it's so good. They're just the loudest shorts you could possibly be wearing.
The most annoying shorts for a VFX supervisor to remove from a reflection.
There's a nice like tushy shot like before this, right? We've got to add these shorts. Not in 2.
In 2, I believe there's no tush. That's only in 1.
No tush. Okay.
But
before he was a big Hollywood star and would do anything to be on camera.
I agree. We've got to do a version of this where we content aware fill. We content aware fill the edges. Like we zoom out on the shot and do wider shots and have the shorts on. That'll be our entire next episode.
I am so happy knowing that this is what he was wearing.
Yeah.
In those scenes, and all of the people glancing down and looking up makes so much more sense now.
It's so funny to me.
It's incredible. And
John J.R. Robeck makes an actually, I think, useful suggestion that we should use the time limiter in all episodes to increase our viewership.
Oh yeah, what happened? We had a timer up on the screen.
We were planning to use it.
What
we're
was
ready
it
for
for?
this episode.
We completely forgot to
But
do
guys,
it because
without
all
the
of us.
timer, we would have never gotten to where we are right now. Looking at
My goodness.
these pictures.
Do they intentionally get the Pepsi shot in every single one of those? Oh, nope. The bottom left is missing the
That's
Pepsi
light
sign.
beer, yeah.
Pepsi is light beer. Is
To
that
be
their
honest,
slogan
his
for the
shorts-
Super Bowl this year?
His shorts are the only thing, are honestly somehow brighter than the Pepsi sign.
It's the only thing I can see.
I know.
It's incredible.
We'll do a version where we just add optical glow to his shorts and they're just like glowing. All right.
I do love optical glow.
Back to
And those shorts.
this.
Those shorts need to make a comeback.
I 100% agree. So you're talking about the Super Bowl, right?
That's happening soon. For
It
those
is
of you who are
happening.
into sports ball,
No, we don't say sports
Which I
on the
am.
show. We're funnier than that.
Yeah.
I was saying it doubly ironically
All right, that's fine.
because I
Yeah.
actually like watching millionaires get head injuries.
I wish I liked football. I would be so into it if I was into it.
Which is there any physical sport that you enjoy watching?
I enjoy
Cricket?
baseball. I enjoy
Okay.
watching basketball, but not on TV. I enjoy watching both of these in person, not on TV. On TV, my ADHD won't let me like get super into anything. on
Yeah, the
TV.
problem with football is that there's so many stops. Like it's literally 11 minutes of action in 4 hours of programming.
It's so stupid.
Which is why I like the Super Bowl because the commercials are amazing on the Super Bowl usually.
I like soccer too. I tell you what, I also weirdly could watch on TV though is rugby. I'm fascinated by.
I
rugby.
love rugby. It's my favorite sport to watch.
There's so many
It's so good.
stupid rules that make it so interesting to watch.
Well, and it's like American football, and then it's action. It's like not that level of action, but without any breaks, except for occasionally having to throw the ball in. But the throwing the ball in is a very exciting part where people get thrown up in the air like
Yeah.
cheerleaders. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Rugby is
And
the best sport
honestly,
to watch.
just the whole rule you can only throw the ball backwards, right? That's rugby, right?
Yes, you can throw the ball backwards. Well, so and American football, except if you're the quarterback, within specific rules. But yes,
Still,
rugby, you
watch
can
it's
throw
way
the
more
ball back
exciting on
all the time.
rugby. That whole idea.
Rugby is so much more exciting because it's action all the time. They don't take those little pansy breaks.
Pansy breaks. I'm gonna make a drop for next week. We need to take a pansy break.
Because we're a 300-pound man who runs at 20 miles an hour and for some reason needs to take a breather every 2 seconds.
Wearing Arnold shorts, and it's like time to take a pansy break. And
Michael Pollack says Arnold's quote should be, "I need your clothes, boots, Bermuda shorts, and your motorcycle."
yeah, he's like, I need your shirt, jacket, socks, shoes. Not pants. I'm clearly taken care of in that area.
Jason Murphy says that they're kind of bummed that there's
Accent
not a
broke
weekly
down
event.
hard
I know,
halfway
you're
through
fine.
that. Sorry.
That's why I started talking over you. Jason Murphy says, that's not actually true. It's because I got distracted by Jason Murphy. He says he's kind of bummed that there's not a weekly event that makes him jump out of his chair in excitement. He's kind of envious of sports people. Yeah, but then you get the people whose week is ruined when their team loses. And then you're like, glad I'm not a sports
Also,
person.
hello, what are you doing here, man? We are that for you. VFX.
We are.
Oh, no,
we are your
don't worry.
football.
We are
don't
football
worry.
for you.
Don't
That's our
worry,
new
Michael.
tagline.
Michael Pollack is in the chat doing that exact same line for you. You've already been backed up by fellow members of the chat.
Perfect.
That's VFX and chill for me.
We are football for you.
Goodness gracious.
The VFX nerds football. Although corridor kind of is too for some folks, but you'd have that drop handy, right? Because it's right there.
You know, I think I got rid of it because we weren't using it very much.
Oh, well, fine.
Sorry.
John J. Roebuck says that Arnold is nude from behind it for a shot in Terminator, and his equipment needed to be digitally removed. Equipment being in quotes. He used to work for PDI, who did that work. They called it DDR. Don't ask what that stands for.
From T2 or from another T?
He says T2.
Huh.
I have not watched T2 enough to remember how much nudity there is.
Let me check my chart here.
Oh, I swear, there's got to be some Christian website where it lists how much nudity is in every episode, how many swear words in every
Yeah,
movie.
it's called Common Sense Media. Although I don't know if that's
Thank
Christian.
I assume
It's just common sense.
Every
common
moral
sense.
patrol thing is particular, because there's a particular brand of Christianity where they're into that sort of thing.
Now,
I mean,
will
not into
say,
it.
I did
Opposite
hit a
of
point
into
in as a parent where I did start to look up. That became a very
It's useful to have.
site.
It's useful to have.
Yes.
What is the scene that I've forgotten about in this?
exactly?
Because you don't remember those scenes, and you're watching with the kids, and suddenly you go, "Oh no!" Yeah.
No, I mean, there's some movies where you do remember the scenes, but you're not going to show your kids those movies. I'm not going to elaborate.
Gracious.
I'm just going to keep tracking this man's face.
Justin the Duck says they jump out of their chair during VFX chill every time they need to go pee.
Justin, you're not committed to this. You shouldn't need to get up. You should just stay at your chair. Just let it happen. And that's the end of this sentence. Someone else
There
will
you go.
talk now.
Hashi, what
I've
are you
sunk
doing?
down to my own world. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Are you still working on that idol scene?
I think I am somewhere.
Hashi, look at this. There's something very funny to me about GeoTracker head being on this like fetal position.
Oh my gosh. That like right there looks like a short film that someone would have on.
For that someone would make for for SIGGRAPH in like 95.
Yes.
All right. Hey, not bad.
That's not bad at all. Oh, hey, someone named Jamie Hashimoto is in the chat.
Welcome, Jamie.
My one Arnold drop. I need more Arnold drops. Those are what you put in your eyes.
Flailing around trying to do this thing. Okay, I'm just gonna try this one. Whatever. Sad. I'm sad. This is something that I thought that I was. This is something I thought I was fast at. Okay, let's create a new. Actually, maybe I have.
For maybe one of you who has never seen the show before and might have tuned in, what tends to happen on the show, in our split screen episodes, I've found is that I'll kind of like plow through 3 or 4 or 5 shots or
hilarious marketable memes.
Hashi will get really, really hung up on one specific thing he wants to make happen. He'll get kind of depressed, and then in the last 10 minutes of the show, will suddenly. I'm now realize I looked at what time it is. I'm setting you up for something you may not be able to follow through on.
Yep.
But you knock it out of the park and make the greatest, most memorable thing in the world all of a sudden last second. So
Hashi, don't forget you have a script for this, by the way, Hash. Don't forget.
I'm aware of that, but I don't. I don't have any faith in this depth map. Okay, so I'm opening up Track Code Mirror
manually
right here, and I'm going to. Wait, didn't I just set this? Am I going mad?
Sorry, I did not.
2746. 2746 by 1668-ish or something like that.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so I've added the effect mirror, which basically creates this cool little sheet. And I've decided to make this sheet this specific dimensions. And the reason for that is because this is a sheet being modified by this little fractal right here, which I can set to 0 for a second, so it's just a flat plane. And then on the texture for this, I'm going to actually use a texture layer. I'm going to use that idle right here. So I'll put that on there. And the type of material I'm going to use is a smooth surface. And for this, I'm going to disable the fog. What should I do to disable the fog? Let me just... Fog start. It's going to be farther away. Okay, so if you can imagine what's going on here, I'll switch to this view. Mirror is creating this sheet with this artwork on it. So not very impressive yet. But what's kind of cool is if you have created something like this depth map here, which I think I just rendered out. And what did I call it? Goodness gracious. Too disorganized. When we got 12 minutes? Oh, 12 minutes, we can fix this. Maybe I didn't actually ever render it.
Punk 80 is asking, was the title just clickbait? It read the whole description. It's how to get an Apple Vision Pro into your movies. It's a way to get the Apple Vision Pro into your movies. Hashi and Seth are taking the Apple Vision Pro and adding it into movies where they did not originally belong. We've already done Forrest Gump and a few other things.
If you'd like to see an
show.
episode about how to use the Vision Pro for making visual effects, please write to Simon Walker at Maxon and tell him.
Yeah, with
Seth,
enough,
Hashi,
with
and
enough,
Michael need Vision
with enough
Pros.
fan pressure.
Yeah, none of us have Vision Pros, and we would like to have them, please.
If we've learned anything in this past few weeks, it's that pressure from people on social media can lead us to do things.
but seriously, I don't think I would know what to do with an Apple Vision Pro if one was given to me. I would look at it.
We would teach you on the show, Michael.
Okay,
I know there's a surgery app for it.
See, that's what the first thing we would do is surgery.
Speaking of surgery apps, I have I've been able to create a slightly better depth map of this layer here in After Effects. And I'm going to put it down here, just hidden. I don't actually need to see it. But I can refer to it with my mirror layer. I've turned the frequency of the fractal noisiness on the surface down to 0. So it's really just smooth still. But I'm adding an amplitude layer right here. And I'm going to refer to the depth layer. And with that set, if I go to my amplitude and start dialing it, it looks like I want to dial it to a negative value. Look at this.
There we go. That's what you're after.
This is what I've been after the whole time. So not a lot. I'm just going to do that right here. And now I'm going to switch back to my main camera view. And this is not a perfect depth map. And let's see. I've got to change the visibility of the plugin real quick to say like that. But now I have this version of the idol that I can slightly, in a more convincing way, be able to be from Indiana Jones' point of view here. So the problem with this is that we've got some issues with this depth map. The idol slants back too much at the top. So I'm going to go to this depth map comp right here. I'm just going to go and add a new... I can basically modify this like a pre-comp, and then it'll modify it over there. So let's go and say gradient ramp. And let's turn this blending mode to screen. And then I can put I can just check the swap colors, right? So we'll put white up at the top of the head there, and then we'll move the bottom of this down to sort of where the bottom of the idol is, like that. And I'm going to maybe turn down this to like 50% just to see what it looks like. Then let's jump back to here. Comp 3, right? No, Comp 2.
This is what you name your comps.
I guess let's call this the mirror.
And don't forget to when you're picking your amplitude layer, to choose it to have it with effects and masks and not just a source. If you are working on a layer that's by itself and putting effects on a layer by itself, not doing it in a pre-comp.
Correct. So that was a little bit too much. I'm going to turn down that. Okay, now see, I'm kind of bending that backwards a little bit. So this is not great, but you could dive in here and really like paint in some detailed imagery. And now that I've got that, wherever the heck else it was, what did I call it? The Indie POV. I'm just going to bring in the background layer from that. And now if I turn this into a 3D layer, I can switch to kind of this top view and sort of look at what the layout of these is. So it's kind of a weird layout. I don't know why it's way over here. But if I make my background image much bigger, from this perspective view, go to around here and kind of look at what we've got. Let's put that behind mirror. Now I can start to have like a slightly more 3D scene, but there's still more that I can do.
Tyler Adams in the chat on the Red Giant YouTube channel says, just use some primitives and sculpting in Cinema 4D and then project the image onto the Geo and bring it back to After Effects. Yes, that is one way to do it.
That would have been...
Hashi is showing another way.
This usually, if the depth map had just worked in Photoshop, would have been much faster to do. So I got completely tripped up at how slow it went. Here's one of my other very favorite tricks, is if you have a 3D card you're going to use as a background and it's got a division between the ground and the wall or something like that, I go to the pan behind tool and move the origin of the 3D card to be right at that line where they kind of meet. And then from there, I can just duplicate that layer and make one copy that rotates forward like this, and I can scale it like that. And even though it's not a fantastic solve, it will allow me to have a slight ground plane there. Sorry, I keep on making my thing very small. So here's all I was trying to do this whole time, Seth. I just wanted to create a little 3D panorama of...
And you did it.
I did it, I guess. Why do I feel like this camera is really, really zoomed in? The camera I created was like a super telephoto lens.
Well, you've got 5 minutes left.
5 minutes left. Man, I'm sorry, everyone.
I don't think you owe anyone an apology.
I don't think
look at my screen. It's pretty satisfying.
Like, first of all, the template you built to get the eyes and everything to work with the Vision Pro is amazing. Secondly, look what Steve helped Seth do. That's fantastic.
It goes a little
that does make me
off-center on
happy.
that turn. I gotta fix
It does make me happy that Seth's getting something good out of all of this. I am just... oh, that's what I did.
There's another scene in here, a shot that I think would be fun.
Okay, when I was creating my mirror layer, instead of the dimensions of the plane, I was moving its size, or I was moving its position way over there for some reason. So everything was wrong.
Everything was wrong.
Well, Michael Pawlik says you should put a floating VR Mac desktop behind the idol. And Justin LeDuc says, I know the Vision Pro is probably a downgrade for Arnold, but he's still very impressed with his persona avatar.
He wasn't in Avatar.
No, but James Cameron is a link.
Who's that?
Why is this not doing what I wanted to?
I always feel like I'm making some kind of weird, trippy... Like, this feels like... To be doing this wireframe on top of Arnold and T2 feels so, like, appropriate. Because whenever I'm working with this wireframe head, it feels like I'm doing some T1000 crap.
Okay, what's something that you would pull up in some image to put back there?
A poster? Like a Jaws poster? No. What are you asking?
Like what's a window from... Okay, I'm just going to grab whatever this first one is. Yes. Oops. Search the web for this image. Perfect.
Fraser Woodhouse says the tricky thing with this show is there are long meandering parts which are easy to tune out of, and then you can't tell when you're back to actual teaching parts.
That's fair. That's fair enough. That's a good point. I like that too.
Mission accomplished.
We need a drop that says, hey, we're actually doing something useful now.
We'll never use it.
we keep forgetting about it. Fraser, part of the problem is that all three of us are ADHD, or some variant.
No one would have ever guessed.
We can easily get distracted.
Pure blood here. ADHD.
Well, I didn't want to, go too far.
Okay, let's copy this over into our mirror comp.
They said timestamps to watch the replays might be helpful. Yeah, true. Also true. I did.
Have you done real visual effects work? This is what it's like.
I did put in timestamps for the episode a couple weeks ago when they're doing redshift sculpts, or when they're doing ZBrush sculpts, just so you could skip to each sculpt, which was very helpful. But that episode, we also did stuff on a timer, which helped keep us focused. For those of you out there who have ADHD, something that can help an ADHD person like us stay focused is to have a time limit on things. So you have to get your thing done within a certain amount of time, and it helps the ADHD brain stay focused.
But also,
speaking of time limits, we have 1 minute left, Hashi.
Okay, let's put a little wiggle expression on the point of interest, like I'm a sixth grader with After Effects. Wiggle 1 by 200. No, it's going to be a whole lot. Let's do 0.4 by 200. Right. This is so worth it, everybody.
See, the good thing is I know that by the beginning of next week, we'll have a couple of very wonderful shareable clips out of this. We've already got the forest one. I really hope you get to do the one you shared in Slack of the gentleman getting hit by a car. And then this shot. I didn't want to spoil it.
There's only one movie where a guy gets hit by a car.
Oh, yeah. The other movie I was thinking of, a girl gets hit by a bus, Mean Girls.
Oh, that's good. That's everything about Mean Girls.
Oh, has anyone seen the new Mean Girls? Is it any good? I haven't seen it.
I mean, it's based on the play, on the musical, so I assume it's good.
All right. Okay, here's
in our last minute of the show, anyone in the chat have any reviews of the new Mean Girls movie to put in there for me real quick?
Exactly.
So I know
this is why we gather.
Worth my time to watch.
Why don't we have more viewers?
Goodness. Why must we answer this for ourselves every week? All right. Okay, now I've got the nice, very, very fisheye lens perspective going here. This is a fun idea that needed more thought.
Well, the really cool thing about this is that people can watch both sides of the screen and get workflow tips from both of you, because as you're working in real time on both, just watching what you're doing. But yeah, it could be a little distracting. Jason Harker says it's musical. Yes, I'm excited about that idea.
Okay, so as you can see, I have the foundation of a indie close-up POV of that I could cut between the Raiders clip and him looking around at this idol thing. I gotta fix my depth map, and then I could have a nice, real, proper 3D thing, and then it can pull up a menu. Can be getting it's like what's his face in the plane.
Yeah, that's good.
Saying I caught a cool fish. He closes the.
Thanks, Jacques.
Thanks, Jacques.
I caught a cool fish.
I caught a cool fish, and there's a snake in your seat. Remind me when you get back. No time.
Also, I'm not Frank Marshall, despite what everyone thinks.
Hadn't heard that.
Oh, what's happening here? Why did that happen?
Oh, okay. Well, we're in the golden period of the show where we're supposed to have wrapped up, but
are we?
We're too addicted to the visual effects.
Too addicted to the visual effects.
Now, I don't know. One thing that I'm tempted to do to make it which is very silly and old school, just like the binoculars effect, there's a part of me that wants to do this. And this is what will let you know that you're
in
Apple Vision Pro.
in Apple Vision Pro mode. Another thing that you could do,
binoculars, put binoculars on movies. That's not what binoculars feel like when I'm looking through them.
And I would probably also do. Is Top Secret the one where they are just looking through a card that has the
I think so.
that MasterCard shape?
If you haven't seen Top
Fantastic.
Secret, folks, highly recommend. It's starting to gain traction again, and it's worth
Check
it.
it before you watch it with your kids. There's a couple things I forgot about.
Do that.
Pro tip
Right.
yet again on this show.
Okay, I'm going to add some chromatic aberration. I don't know why. It just feels right.
Apple is going to be very mad with you about this.
It'll be like, no. I'll say it's to simulate the
No, it looks good.
whatever they call their focus thing.
Spatial something.
Spatial something. We really know our.
If anyone in the chat wants to correct these folks on what it's actually called, go for it.
If you want to send us your Apple Vision Pros so we can
test them out for you.
test them out. I could make this so much more accurate if I knew. That's the real problem.
Yeah, the real problem is we don't have one. We need to get one.
Isn't
We could share it. You wear it one day, then mail it to Seth. Seth can wear it one day, mail it to me.
That's flawless.
Perfect.
It'll work.
Okay, I feel like it's maybe too exaggerated on the actual displacement, but I feel like this gives you the vibe of it being a first person perspective of that area, which I could have totally just done with 2 layers. I could have just done with the background layer and the foreground layer. There's a little bit of 3D-ness in here. I don't know if you all can see it.
Tyler Adams says it's called foveated rendering, and I don't know if that's a joke or the real thing. And Matt Legrand says there is RGB fringing in this thing, which I assume means he's watching this show in his Apple Vision Pro.
Send it over when you get bored of it.
Tomorrow.
Wonder what it's like when you win solitaire and the cards.
They just start bouncing off of everything in the world around you.
Oh
off
my
the
God.
table, off
Cards
the
everywhere.
floor.
Oh, it's 2:05.
wall.
How should we wrap up the show?
How should we wrap up the show?
By letting people know that they should like and subscribe. That if you want to catch the replay of this channel, of this show for some reason, it's on the Maxon Red Giant YouTube channel. It'll be hidden on the other places it's been streaming. It usually finds its home on Maxon Red Giant YouTube channel. But no, if you really are interested in learning stuff, there's some really good stuff happening in the show, and I really liked it.
I was just imagining that he should definitely have a window that's like the Wikipedia, like information about tarantulas or something like that.
That's good. That's good.
They're stupid. We'll figure it out.
That's looking really fun, dude.
Ah,
Oh, it's actually looking really fun. I hadn't looked at your screen. I've been so focused on Arnold.
dig this. I tried to like turn the camera down to a very wide angle, and plus the chromatic aberration, you get a little bit of that first person view.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like Seth said in the last minutes of the show, you brought it into something quite usable and cool.
That's what we do. That's what we do. That's the whole lot of VFX. There's no way we can get this done. There's no way we can get this done.
But we did it.
So we got Indiana Jones, we got the Terminator, we've got Forrest Gump, and hopefully before next week at some point we'll get Meet Joe Black.
That's always the dream. Well, everybody,
Always the dream.
thanks for watching the show this
Everyone,
week.
this was a lot of fun. I wish I could have provided more exciting visuals for you, but
I think
You
did.
provided
It's
an
fun
amazing,
sharing this time with you, by
provided
the
an
way.
amazing template and amazing education on how you built that eye rig at the beginning. Worth
absolutely
every second of faffing about later.
All right,
wonderful. Well, yeah, we will. We'll see you all next week. I don't know what we're covering yet, but yeah, hopefully we can share some of the results from this week. And yeah, feel free to get in touch with us on the social medias. Send us questions and fun suggestions and things like that. And
And if you got VFX shots you want to see us break down and try to redo on the show, send them our way. Mike, you can use the YouTube handles that'll show up in the outro. And it's fixed, Michael. They're the right ones. Yeah. Bye, everybody.